Um, Welcome to the deep dive. We are really thrilled to have you with us today.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. We've got a great one for you.
Definitely. If you are looking for, a shortcut to being well informed about the absolute thriller that just unfolded on the pitch, you are in exactly the right place.
Absolutely.
Because we are looking at a really formidable stack of sources today. We've got post-match reports, live blogs,
Detailed player ratings.
right, detailed player ratings, and some really fascinating tactical heat maps from just a genuinely frantic La Liga clash.
Frantic is the perfect word for it.
Yeah. We are diving into today's game, Saturday, March 7, 2026, played under the lights at the Riyadh Air Metropolitano.
Where Atletico Madrid faced off against Real Sociedad.
Exactly.
And it is crucial to recognize right away that this was much more than just a standard league fixture.
Oh, for sure.
Looking through these tactical breakdowns, the tension was practically vibrating off the page. We're analyzing a strategic battle that was as emotionally charged as it was physically demanding.
Yeah, it really took a toll.
It's the kind of match that demands a closer look, especially when you consider, the layers of strategy both managers deployed and the context surrounding the clubs right now.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Because to really understand the gravity of what happened today, you have to look at the stakes.
Right.
This wasn't just about 3 points on a Saturday night. This was a full-blown dress rehearsal for the upcoming Copa del Rey final.
Which is scheduled for April 18.
Right, April 18. So these two squads are going to be fighting for a major domestic trophy in just a few weeks.
Exactly. So establishing a psychological edge right now is a huge priority for both of them.
Huge. Furthermore, the points in the league table are critical for entirely different reasons. Atletico desperately needs to secure a UEFA Champions League spot for next season.
They absolutely have to.
Meanwhile, Real Sociedad arrived fighting tooth and nail for European qualification through their league standing. Because simply reaching the Copa del Rey final doesn't guarantee a European spot anymore.
No, it doesn't. Not anymore.
So La Real had literally everything to play for today.
That context frames everything we're about to discuss. When we look at the broader landscape of this season, Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid has truly been a team of two faces.
Two completely different teams, really.
Yeah. On the road, they have struggled visibly. They've looked vulnerable, dropping points in matches you would normally expect a Simeone side to just control.
To just lock down.
Exactly. But the Metropolitano, they have turned their home stadium into an impenetrable fortress. Teams simply do not go there and dictate the rhythm of the game.
Never.
However, going into this match, Atletico is carrying some heavy psychological baggage. They desperately needed to regain their confidence after suffering a bruising 3-0 defeat to FC Barcelona in the Copa del Rey.
And you don't just shake off a 3-goal deficit easily.
Especially not a team whose entire identity is built on defensive pride and resilience.
Right. And their opponents weren't exactly a team you want to face when you're feeling vulnerable.
Precisely. On the flip side, Real Sociedad arrived in Madrid as one of the most informed teams in the entire league.
They've been on fire.
Since the transformative arrival of their new manager, Pellegrino Matarazzo, they have been an absolute revelation.
Before a ball was even kicked today, they had secured an impressive 19 points from their last 30 available.
19 out of 30. Matarazzo has completely reignited their spark. He's implemented a much more compact pressing structure that makes them incredibly difficult to break down.
Well, whatever structure they had planned seemed to evaporate almost immediately once the whistle blew.
It really did.
We have to talk about the explosive start to this match. Just 4 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, Alexander Sørloth,
Affectionately nicknamed the Viking.
the Viking, yeah, he scores against his former club. And looking at the reports, this wasn't just a lucky break. It was a highly physical sequence. What exactly did he do to dismantle that defense so early?
It was a textbook demonstration of how to use a target man. The mechanics of this goal are just fascinating.
Walk us through it.
It all initiates with a throw-in from Giuliano Simeone deep in the attacking third. He launches a long ball into the box. Jose Maria Gimenez rises above the pack and flicks it on.
And there is Sørloth waiting.
Right, but it is what Sørloth does next that is brilliant. He physically holds off defender Jean Martin, literally using his body as a shield,
Just immovable.
swivels on a dime, and rifles the ball into the roof of Alex Ramiro's net.
Right.
It was a stunning display of biomechanics and strength, resulting in his 10th goal this season.
10 goals is a really solid milestone, but the historical stats in our notes paint an even bigger picture for him, right?
They really do. Synthesizing the historical data from our sources, Sørloth has now scored 11 goals in 17 games in this calendar year of 2026.
11 and 17.
To put that into perspective for you, that production matches the best natural year starts in the entire storied history of Atletico Madrid.
That's incredible.
He is standing shoulder to shoulder with Diego Forlán in 2009 and Luis Suarez in 2021.
Those are absolute club legends.
They are. The player ratings awarded Sørloth an 8 out of 10 for this match, noting that his physicality made him a terror to the Real Sociedad backline all night.
Well, the stadium erupted after that, but the celebration was incredibly short-lived.
It was.
In the 9th minute, Real Sociedad leveled the score, totally silencing the home crowd. Luka Sučić, who seemed to be finding pockets of space everywhere.
He was everywhere.
He sets up Carlos Soler. Soler doesn't hesitate. He launches a thunderous left-footed strike straight into the top corner.
A beautiful goal.
It was. But reading through these player ratings, Atletico's goalkeeper, Jan Oblak, received a surprisingly brutal score of 4 out of 10.
Yeah, a 4 out of 10 for Oblak.
Can you explain why the ratings were so harsh on him here? Usually he is the ultimate safety net.
It's a great question. Oblak is widely regarded as one of the elite shot stoppers in world football, but the underlying metrics from tonight tell a concerning story. The tactical analysis points out that he was essentially hung out to dry by a rapidly retreating defense on that Soler goal. But we have to look at a statistic called expected goals, or XG.
Right.
Think of expected goals as a measure of probability. Based on the location and type of shots a team takes, how many goals should they realistically score?
Makes sense.
Tonight, Atletico only conceded 0.41 expected goals. Statistically, the quality of the chances Real Sociedad created were very low. They didn't even generate enough dangerous chances to warrant half a goal.
And yet Oblak conceded twice.
Exactly. For a keeper of his caliber, conceding 2 goals from less than half an expected goal is a highly unusual anomaly. It means he wasn't making the tough saves he usually makes.
That structural failure to protect Oblak seemed to stem right from the middle of the park. The midfield was described in the live blogs as an absolute battleground.
Gritty, physical, and deeply frustrating for both sides.
Adamol Lookman, for instance, was a constant threat for Atleti. He was finding space, taking on his markers, but he completely lacked the final end product.
He only received a 4 out of 10 rating.
Because he couldn't deliver the final killer pass, which is a stark contrast to his brilliant performances in recent cup competitions.
Definitely.
And then there is Koke, the captain. He is usually the metronome of this team, but he ended up losing the ball 10 times in just an hour of play, earning him a 5.5 rating. Why was Koke struggling so much to orchestrate?
A lot of that credit goes to Real Sociedad's pressing scheme under Matarazzo.
The new manager bounce.
Yeah. They recognize that Koke is the central nervous system of Atletico's build-up play by suffocating him with high-intensity pressure.
Often spearheaded by Luka Sučić dropping deep to harass him.
Right. They forced Koke to rush his decisions. When your captain is losing possession 10 times in 60 minutes, your entire transitional rhythm breaks down.
And the physicality of that midfield clash eventually led to a deeply concerning moment. We really need to slow down and talk about what happened right before halftime with Rodrigo Mendoza.
Yes, this is perhaps the most consequential takeaway from the first half, looking beyond the scoreboard.
Mendoza has been showing immense promise for Atletico.
His confident passing and ability to carry the ball forward under pressure are essential to how they transition from defense to attack.
But he engaged in a fierce ground duel with Real Sociedad's under Baranexia and went down hard.
It was a very painful-looking right ankle injury. He tried to battle through the discomfort, but ultimately had to be substituted off at halftime.
You always hate to see a player try to walk something off, only to realize they just can't continue.
It's tough to watch. And our sources, including late reports from Marca, indicate that the injury might actually be quite serious.
This isn't just a minor knock.
No. Losing Mendoza is a severe tactical blow, given how heavily Simeone has come to rely on his vision in the center of the park, especially with such a congested fixture list looming.
Well, as we move past halftime, those tactical adjustments start rolling in. Here's where it gets really interesting. Because Diego Simeone doesn't just tweak his lineup slightly.
No, he doesn't.
To fix a stalling game, he makes a sweeping triple substitution right before the hour mark.
A triple substitution at that stage of the match is a clear signal of intent. It tells the players and the fans, our current blueprint isn't working, and we are going for all 3 points right now.
And one of those substitutions involved a major milestone. In the 52nd minute, Antoine Griezmann jogs onto the pitch, replacing Ademola Lookman.
This was Griezmann's 484th appearance for Atletico Madrid.
With those minutes, he officially broke a tie with Tomás Reñones to take sole possession of fourth place in the club's all-time appearance history.
Incredible longevity.
But off the pitch, the sporting director had some very specific things to say about Griezmann today. What did he say regarding those swirling rumors about Orlando City?
The timing of the statement was critical. The rumor mill has been spinning wildly lately, strongly linking Griezmann to a move across the Atlantic to join the MLS side Orlando City.
It's been everywhere.
But our sources highlight that Atletico's sporting director came out firmly today and completely squashed that rumor. He confirmed publicly that Griezmann is staying at the club until the end of the season.
Shutting down that narrative removes a significant distraction from the locker room.
It allows both the player and the squad to focus entirely on this crucial run-in, without questions, constantly hovering over their star forward's commitment.
That psychological relief seemed to translate directly onto the pitch, because Griezmann ends up playing a pivotal role in the storyline of Nico González.
Oh, this storyline is wild.
Just a minute after Griezmann comes on, Nico González subs on in the 53rd minute. He replaces Thiago Almeida,
who received a dismal 3.5 out of 10 rating.
The reports described Almeida as indecisive, getting muscled off the ball, and generally struggling to find his footing. So Nico comes on, and almost immediately he misses a glaring opportunity.
A massive sitter.
He's a clear shot from 8 yards out, put on a silver platter by Julian Alvarez, and Nico skies it into the stands. You could practically hear the collective groan from the supporters.
You have to consider the psychological weight of that moment for Nico. We are talking about a young player who hasn't scored a goal in nearly 6 months.
6 months is an eternity for a forward.
That is a heavy burden to carry, and when you launch a ball into orbit from 8 yards out in a match with Champions League implications, it can completely shatter your confidence. The internal dialogue for a forward in a drought like that is incredibly difficult to silence.
But his reaction to that miss was nothing short of cinematic. Fast forward to the 67th minute. Nico finds himself in the heart of the box again.
This time, he receives a brilliant backheeled pass from Antoine Griezmann,
which, notably, was Griezmann's first assist of the league season.
Nico doesn't panic. He winds up and fires a low, precise, left-footed drive right into the bottom corner.
From missing a sitter to becoming the hero in the span of 14 minutes.
It was a beautiful moment of redemption, but the emotional whiplash of this game was far from over.
Not even close.
If anyone thought the Metropolitano was going to comfortably cruise to a victory after that, Real Sociedad quickly provided a reality check. Just 1 minute later, in the 68th minute, they respond.
1 minute.
Real Sociedad captain Mikel Oyarzabal, who had been introduced as a substitute himself, pounces on a loose ball sitting just outside the penalty area.
He calibrates instantly and unleashes a laser-guided strike with his left foot.
It traces a perfect arc and tucks right into the top left corner.
It was a world-class finish to draw the game level at 2-2.
And it really highlights the lethal depth Real Sociedad possesses, especially considering they are currently playing without their injured star, Takefusa Kubo.
Oyarzabal stepping up off the bench to deliver a goal like that shows they are a multidimensional threat.
They absolutely are.
The tension at that point must have been suffocating. You have two elite teams just trading heavy blows. But as the clock ticks down, Atletico finds one last surge. We hit the 81st minute.
Mateo Ruggeri steps up to take a corner.
The player ratings point out that Ruggeri has taken over corner duties recently because his crossing has been so pinpoint.
And he proves it right here. He delivers a perfectly curled ball into the crowded penalty area.
Nico González outleaps every single defender and connects with a sharp, powerful, downward header that kisses the net right against the left post.
It seals the 3-2 victory.
But wait, looking at these tactical maps, Nico González is listed as a defender. How does a team built on Simeone's defensive ethos end up relying on a right back to score twice from inside the penalty box?
What's fascinating here is the sheer tactical fluidity of modern football. Yes, if you look at the official team sheet when he was brought on, Nico was deployed as a right back in a 5-man defensive line.
Right.
The expectation is that he was put on the pitch to defend the flank. Yet, because of Atletico's aggressive asymmetrical shape and his own tactical intelligence, he didn't stay tethered to the touchline.
When Atletico had possession, the system morphed.
It allowed Nico to drift centrally and constantly roam into the opposition's penalty area. He essentially played as an auxiliary striker while simultaneously being responsible for tracking back to defend the right side.
It is a wildly demanding role.
requiring incredible stamina and spatial awareness. He executed it flawlessly, ending a nearly 6-month goal drought with a game-winning brace, meaning he scored 2 goals.
It is no surprise at all that Flash Score awarded him man of the match with a stellar 8 out of 10 rating.
None at all.
A right back and a back five scoring twice from inside the box really illustrates how the traditional definitions of positions are blurring.
They're disappearing entirely.
Let's look closely at the defensive performances across the board, because despite 5 goals being scored in this game, there were some serious defensive standouts.
For Atletico, Jose Maria Giménez was an imposing force.
Our sources gave him a 7.5 rating. He was immense in the air, winning 6 aerial duels, and he made 8 crucial clearances.
And there is a remarkable statistic in these reports. Atletico has now won 8 of the 11 La Liga games that Giménez has started.
He is a difference maker.
Giménez provides the foundational stability that allows a player like Nico González to push forward so aggressively.
If Giménez isn't locking down the center, those overlapping runs from the fullbacks become way too risky.
Exactly. He essentially single-handedly neutralized Real Sociedad's Ori Oskarsson. The match reports note that Oskarsson offered nothing as an offensive outlet.
He was practically invisible up top.
Entirely stifled by Giménez's positioning.
But on the other side, Atletico's central defense, David Hanko had a much more complicated evening.
He really did. Hanko anchors that defense alongside Giménez, and he is typically known for his calm discipline. But tonight, he had a grueling battle dealing with La Real's Luka Sučić.
Sučić is incredibly technical.
And he spent the evening twisting and turning, dragging Hanko into uncomfortable wide areas. It got to the point where Hanko actually picked up his first booking of the entire season for a foul on Sučić.
Getting your very first yellow card in March is a testament to how clean Hanko usually plays.
But today, Sučić pushed him to his absolute limit.
It sounds like Real Sociedad, despite the loss, gave an incredibly strong account of themselves.
We definitely need to ensure a balanced view of this squad. Losing 3-2 away at the Metropolitano is a tough result, but they remain an incredibly resilient outfit. Even
without Cuco, players like Gonçalo Guedes stepped up today.
They provided genuine attacking leadership to complement Oyarzabal. Have to remember, this was only their second loss in their last 11 top-flight games.
They know how to weather a storm.
And they forced Atletico to expend a massive amount of energy to secure this win.
So what does this all mean? When the stadium finally emptied out, Atletico Madrid held firmly onto 3rd place in La Liga with their 3rd consecutive league win.
They've also extended an impressive unbeaten head-to-head streak against Real Sociedad to 13 games,
boasting 8 wins and 5 draws in that span. Real Sociedad, meanwhile, heads back to the Basque country having to regroup.
They are left with only 3 away wins all season,
which puts serious pressure on them to keep their European League qualification hopes alive in the coming weeks.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this match serves as a profound case study for anyone analyzing high-level football tactics.
For you listening, this specific 3-2 result matters because it is a masterclass in adaptability.
Watching a manager like Diego Simeone utilize a right back to overload the penalty box and score twice shows how fluid modern football strategy has become. Finding and exploiting space is far more important than rigid positional labels.
Furthermore, the resilience shown by both squads today serves as an incredible psychological primer for their Copa del Rey final clash on April 18th.
Both teams now intimately know each other's current rhythms, they have tested each other's weaknesses, and they have felt the sting of each other's striking capabilities. The tactical chess match for the Cup final is already well underway.
Definitely.
But this raises an important question, something for you to mull over as you digest all these tactical shifts and ratings.
What's that?
Considering Atletico's incredibly heavy reliance on their home stadium being an impenetrable fortress to secure league points, combined with the severe physical toll of grinding out these frantic, emotionally draining wins,
including potentially serious injuries like Rodrigo Mendoza's ankle.
Just days before their crucial European clash against Tottenham Hotspur on Tuesday, will this last-minute victory be the ultimate catalyst that propels them to Champions League glory?
Or is it merely masking a deep physical burnout that is just waiting to happen at the worst possible time in their schedule?
It's going to be fascinating to watch.
That is the lingering question as we head into the most demanding part of the season. Thank you so much for joining us on this custom deep dive. We love taking these detailed reports and tactical breakdowns and extracting the insights that really change how you view the game. Keep exploring, keep questioning the strategies you see on the pitch, and we will be right here waiting to dive into the next fascinating topic with you.